Oh, Capcom. Sort of disappoint your fans once again, Capcom. I kinda get the idea behind the reason, but still, Capcom, very disappointing. Very, very disappointing from you guys. Hello guys, NautoAisDx here, and yes, once again, Capcom sort of disappointed their fans. So, what am I talking about? What's the deal? Well, in the latest V-Blog in Capcom Unity, they announced that the patch from 2.0.1 for Street Fighter V is delayed. Originally was was originally going to be released on April 25th, a week from Tuesday, but there was some new anomaly that came in that they needed more time. So before I even continue, and this is also a response to Vespa Arcade, is I can agree with what Vespa Arcade said. On one side, I kind of see why they did it, because they need to make the game good. Everybody knows what happened when the first came out in February 2016. The game was rushed. It was lacking a lot of mode, and Ono did admit that they were focusing it for the Capcom Pro Tour. They were focusing more for the FGC rather than the entire casual gamer, people who love Street Fighter, and people who just want to play it for fun. They admit they made a mistake, so they're trying to rectify it. It is going there, but it's kind of slow. So, I can understand why they did what they did, but with that said, unfortunately, once again, Capcom lied. So you've been wondering what's the deal. They kind of did that before with Season 1 character. They made a blueprint and they made an announcement that said each month starting with March, they'll have a character ready, and on June, there will be the story mode, and then July, August, and September is the rest of the DLC character for Season 1. By the time we went with Ibuki, that's when it kind of dropped short there. Came short a bit. It was supposed to be May, then it ended up with June. Well, July, it was July 1st. It was the first July, it was on a Friday. Yeah, it's July, June, you can argue with that. But the bottom line is that they weren't really consistent. They weren't really transparent to the fans. The fans didn't know what's going on. The tournament players didn't know what's going on. And there was even some butting heads with Capcom Japan versus Capcom USA. So they're sort of doing it again here, because the plan did basically starting with Akuma on December. Every other month will be a character, and the other month would be some sort of minor update and changes to the game. Well, they made an announcement that the big update is going to be in April 25th. What's 25th? Not anymore. They needed more time because they were working on the new revamped the Capcom Portable Network, which is their fighting game ranking. So they needed more time. I can understand it, but again, you're not really consistent, or you're not transparent to what you're saying. A lot of changes is happening. I understand that that's a normal thing, but you gotta keep it transparent with your fans. And again, it's out of the blue. Oh, well, we need more time. They probably should have said, okay, we're doing this, we're right schedule, but it seems we might have to delay. They didn't say that. They just said, oh, guess we're delayed. And the character was supposed to come in at least at April, because it was a month after 2 months after February, which is Colleen. And then March was supposed to be some update. April was supposed to be the third new character, supposedly. Nope. Nah. Now it's going to be May. So, kind of unfortunate. So, Capcom once again lied. They weren't really transparent. They should have said something during the process. But it's Capcom Japan. They always have this mentality that you don't say too much. You just say enough. But the problem there is, like it's kind of showed, that's what happens when you say enough. Out of the blue, sorry, the updates has to be pushed back. I understand that they have to do it to make the game good. I'm all for that. Delays is always good. Take their time. But you also have to be transparent to your fans, and that's the lacking that they're not doing. They're not transparent to the fans, and that's a real shame there. So I'm sort of agreement with Vespa Arcade that, yeah, I think the delay may be necessary, but not being transparent to your fans, to the community. Like even Alex from Backlog Battle even retweeted, oh, for now on, we're going to be in touch with the fan, we're going to be transparent, and no, they lied. No, they weren't. They did it again. So I don't know what to say. Real shame at one side, but I can understand. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the delay on the Street Fighter 5 update. A response to Vespa Arcade. With that, thanks for listening. Alright guys, this is going to be a clarification, or more clear thoughts on the Street Fighter 5 latest update and what's going on. Okay, first of all is, as Miyamoto would always say, a delay in a game is good. A bad game will always be a bad game. Or in this case, the update. It is good to delay the update so when the end production or the update, let's just say, will be good. It's not like you do this update and then it makes the game worse. It's not just, that is a possibility. So that is good. They're trying to fix the problem that started in Street Fighter 5. And like I said, most common thing, besides of the content, was the infrastructure to some extent wasn't really that good. Let's just say that there are something that still needs work. And then, of course, the content, there you go. But the bottom line that I was trying to say there is that one of the biggest problem with Capcom lately, especially with Street Fighter 5, is that they weren't really transparent to the fans, to the community. When they make an announcement, it was just interrupt. Oh, well, it's just delayed. Like, there was no sort of a sign that the fans have to feel it. Like, okay, is it going to be, will there be delay? Is that going to be delay? What's going on? And they keep in mum's the word. And Capcom basically said after the incident with the Ibuki DLC, that, oh yeah, at this point on, we're going to be transparent, we're going to keep communication with our fans, to the FGC about what's the situation. They kind of sort of did it, but they're still not there. Why? Okay, granted that there was no update on May, this is in 2016. June, July, sort of a little, they're being coy about it, it is a cop-out. It's like the first, basically, July 1st was the first day of the month of June. Because I think in that week, there was like, Sunday to Thursday was June, and then Friday was July. So it's sort of a cop-out. No, it's still May, so whatever be the guess. But they sort of rectified it by releasing Jury actually on July. So there you go. And then you might say, wait, there's no update on August. What's going on with Urine? Why is it September? Well, remember, the original plan was each month. So it's supposed to be, originally was May was Ibuki, July was Balrog, August was Jury, and September was Urine. So they kind of work in the end. So it is true that they did say that Urine's going to be in September. So whatever. They kind of gave Jury early. So they sort of rectified that, but still the problem that non-transparency. And then James Chen, I was listening to him and one of his, his Twitch talk show, that apparently Capcom Japan and Capcom America were butting heads. Capcom America basically felt like it was good to be transparent to the fans. The Japanese was the opposite, because from what I heard, according to the Japanese, they were trying to avoid to have a bad reputation, and they were also afraid of leaks, because sadly to say, Street Fighter 5 had a lot of major leaks. The standard 16 characters to some extent were leaked. The DLC characters were leaked, so they're trying to, as hard as they can, trying to prevent it. But one of the butt of the joke with Capcom, especially Street Fighter 5, is leaks. So there you go. Now we're moving forward after the announcement of Akuma being in Street Fighter 5, and they did talk about it also. Again, the problem with the transparency, that even Ono, when push comes to shove, had to tried to lie. Say, well, we never really said Akuma was in the game, which he's in the game. But why did you say that? Because Ono did admit after a while that he did have to lie because the upper management of Capcom weren't too happy, again, because of the leaks. Again, the lack of transparency there. But then they said after Akuma, hey, look, every other month we're going to have a DLC character, and the one there's no DLC character will be an update. So originally, starting with February, yes, there was a update character, which is Colleen. March was supposed to be the balance, but then they had to push it back to end of April because they needed more time. Fine. And supposed to be also in April was the next new DLC character for Season 2. And then suddenly, just a couple of days ago, they just announced, they said, oh wait, we finally did the beta, we got some info, which I don't even know if good or bad, but they did say that there was some info, good info, but the conclusion was, oh, guess what, we're going to have to delay the update, the DLC, and heck, even the character. Again, lying to the fans again. They just said it was going to be this day, and then all of a sudden, oh, we can't put in that day because of it. And, don't get me wrong. Either way, it doesn't matter to me. It's more about the principle here. That, again, whoever's in charge is not being transparent to the community. I can't understand why they had to delay it. You want to perfect the game. Remember, the game was already bad at launch. They're trying to rectify that to the best of their ability, but they need time. I can get that. But the problem also was, again, the lack of transparency. Oh, wait, guess what? We need to delay it, and that was it. Again, and the reason why I say they lied, because they're not being transparent. They're hardly saying anything. They're not even saying, oh, yeah, we've seen this, we've seen it. Why even say release in April and all of a sudden, oh, well, we have to do it? Why not? The best, in my opinion, the best procedure was first, before announcing a release date, maybe in March, they said, we'll have this update. We are trying to aim it by the end of April. But no, they said, we're going to release it in April. So again, maybe the choice of word was lacking. If they said, we are aiming it by the end of April, we'll see what happens. And then maybe down the line, when say, okay, the beta was done, we got the info we got. After evaluating the tests from people, we're getting feedback. I think we're going to need more time for the update because we need to integrate the new Capcom Fighter Network, Portal Network, the CPN, I think the Capcom Portal Network, that's what they call it. Then say there, we originally were trying to aim this at end of April, but unfortunately now we have to aim it sometime in May. There you go. I think they're not lying, but they're also leaving themselves open-ended. No, the problem is they just said, oh yeah, we're going to release it on April 25th. You just close yourself. Like, why would you do that? That's a problem. Again, I understand. Oh, it's a delay. Because the same goes with releasing a game. Again, Alex did talk about this multiple times, that it's not easy to release a game. It's not just we just release it when we feel like it. They do need to have that date they're aiming for. And most companies will say, we're aiming it for this date, be ready. But a lot of times they'll say, like, okay, we're having problems, there's some issue we're having, we might have to change it, we will see. And then when close to the date and make your announcement, it's, oh, well, you know what, unfortunately, after evaluation of the problem, we have to delay the game. That's fine. And again, the problem with Capcom, especially with these updates, are they're basically just closing themselves. Like, oh, we're going to do it here, be hype about it. Oh, wait. No, a lot of times they just say we're aiming. Even, whether you agree or not, Sakurai with Smash Bros. Brawl. There have been constant delay with the game. They say, we're going to aim for this day, for that day. And they keep getting pushed back. Because again, if you don't know why, Sakurai basically just said during the development brawl is, he wanted to perfect the game. He needed more time. Kind of showed that it did work. And by the way, that's also when Miyamoto's quote basically was created. It was, I think, during a development GDC to some extent, and they were talking about Super Smash Bros. Brawl. that Miyamoto did step up and say, yeah, well, I can tell you this, that a delayed game is good, a bad game will always be a bad game, which basically means, and I'm going to say this again, give game time, it can get good. If you know the game is bad, delaying game so many times, it ain't going to do diddly squat, it'll be always a bad game. Yeah. So, yeah, again, like I said, it is unfortunate that it's delayed for some. Me, personally, don't really care, I just play for fun. I just wish they have arcade mode, but they're probably not doing it anytime soon. Is it really that hard to just make an arcade mode? Maybe they're putting on a final boss. That's the thing about this game. There's not even a final boss. I wouldn't be surprised if they put in Guild. That'd be awesome, but that's just me. Excuse me. So yeah, that's my sort of a correction, more in depth of why is it sort of a big deal. Why Capcom Lite is not a good idea. Again, I understand they're trying to fix the game, they need more time. The principle is the lack of transparency to the fans to a point that they're backtracking and it's starting to get annoying to a lot of people. So with that, thanks for listening.